we have quite a stack today, and I just put Spenser for hire on top to show that I really wasn't that thrilled with the stack, but there's a lot in here that may thrill some people. I'll talk about why the things didn't, what about them, yeah, but James might disagree with the order of things, I don't know, but I don't think anyone would disagree with goat being on the bottom. So James has chocolate almond milk, mango and frozen yogurt, and carrots, and he didn't eat much of his salad from the picnic yesterday, and I didn't eat much of my one bar, and I have some slushie there. So that's our deck dinner for today. Pretty exciting. And I'll show you my outfit for today. This is pretty exciting. These shorts, luckily they have a drawstring, so I've been able to wear them pretty much right along the diet. And this top is excellent. I love this bikini top. So I was wearing these shorts while hiking yesterday, and I didn't even feel like doing much, so hence the deck dinner, right? It's not really, I just put picnic leftovers and sliced up some mangoes to go along with it for James. So I really, and this is very easy to make. It's just my regular slushie that I've been having on the warm days. It's frozen strawberries, frozen sour cherries, so Evan's cherries from my cherry tree, and glucosamine, liquid glucosamine, with water, and then I blend that up. So anyway, let's get started talking about these things. If you remember, years ago I used to have a bikini collection that I'd wear in the summer when I was doing this dinner and a movie thing, and so I don't know where it is anymore. I found a few items, but I don't know what happened to it. I don't really want to think about it that much because it could be gone. But
lot of stuff
I have
was stolen
this now
from the storage unit, right?
Yeah, so somebody might have got really lucky and got a good bikini collection, because I had a good one.
Yeah.
But you know, this is the start to another great one. What an awesome bikini! So, Spenser for hire. I put this on the top right now. We'll talk about it later. I mean, we're just getting through season 3 now.
And it's the last season, you were saying.
And James was saying he feels sorry for them. He feels sorry for Spenser, you know, and everyone involved with making Spenser, really, because, but he feels sorry for Spenser in particular, because it's tough when you see people that are having troubles managing their weight. And the actor, he's up and down.
Yeah.
But
Yo-yo.
and he has a lot of muscle on him, but he's having problems with his diet, obviously, and it's tough. So
a lot of guys put on muscle when they put on stuff on the waist.
Yeah,
they're trying to get themselves that V figure that guys really should have.
So he feels sorry for him, and plus James was saying, who was he competing with at this time? Like this, 1982 or something like that?
Yeah, I thought about that.
A little bit later.
The night
85
before.
To 88.
The night before our walk. Actually, I had reasonably good sleep, and I woke up, and while I was getting ready, I was saying, that might have been one of the stressors, because here he is.
Yeah.
And
you can't compete with the Marlboro Man.
Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
Well.
Because he would have been, this show would have been competing with Magnum P.I. How? And plus James was saying with the, well, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
So guys, I wasn't meaning to talk about that today. So Alien 4, season 4, I really like watching these shows. They're silly, it's juvenile kind of humor, whatever. Like the alien, he's silly. Like there's a lot of great jokes though. Like there's his nurse in this, she is talking about people having trouble managing their weight, managing their diet. You're a beautiful lady, you gotta lose the weight. that butt is getting wide. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. She's beautiful, whatever rate she would be, I think. But that's going to affect health. Got to control that. So, anyway, aside from that, she's a great it's usually her and she plays the nurse for this doctor who's not a real doctor. He's an alien, and he's acting as a doctor in this town, and somehow the people keep living.
My experience
she makes her jokes, and she says, you wrote a prescription for an apple a day, and it's funny, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Of course, 90% of my GPs are fake doctors, and they might as well be aliens. I think aliens would treat people better, but there you go. That's a different story.
Anyway, so I think that's a really funny show. It's that's some wind. There's some problems with it. Whatever, I guess that's why it looks like they've wrapped things up with 4 seasons. So it didn't really last longer than Spenser for Hire, which didn't last that long. Anyway, I was watching Spenser for Hire. I think it's Disc 2, the first episode on Disc 2, I think it was. Right near the beginning of the episode, he's packing a bunch of stuff out of his house. He has I don't know why he has a baguette under his arm, but he has a bunch of things that he's packing out of the house. And he closed the door, and you can see he's wearing a red coat, so you can see he shut his coat in the door, but the door doesn't open up again. Different things like that. And I mean, people are going to notice things like that and go, oh boy, why didn't they do a retake or whatever? And back then there was an excuse for things like that because film was expensive. But nowadays, why can't you do a retake when you have some problems? So anyway.
The coat got in the door and he was just standing there. Oh, God.
No, presumably he's standing there unless he took his coat off and continued walking on. But then you see him later in the next scene, and he's still wearing a coat. So anyway, but he's you can see that he shut his coat in the door. Anyway,
that's a classic.
Yeah. Really, it's worth getting Spenser for Hire out just to try to find all of these things that don't make sense or whatever, right? Yeah. It's great. There's a lot of great actors that are they're there for this show, and then they're not there the next show. They're just, guest stars or whatever. And it's great to watch for that too.
And they blow everyone off the soundstage, really.
So, anyway, I don't have much to say about this. I guess I should have given you a spoiler alert that it looks like it's wrapped up after season 4. But maybe not. We'll see. Maybe not. But I think so. Anyway, so that's that one. Wuthering Heights. Boy, this is a different take on Wuthering Heights. A lot of steamy scenes and whatever in this.
A lot of violence.
And yeah, it's incredible.
Disgusting combination, really. I've talked about it before. Unhealthy, but go on.
All right. Well, James didn't enjoy watching it, but I actually thought they did an all right job with it. I didn't. I don't think
the color,
was. They had a lot of artful rooms. They had a lot of great costumes, and so really, a lot of the scenes look like art, and I can appreciate that, and I think a lot of people could. So, and again, it's a different take on the story. I don't like pulling modern music into it. I thought that was really stupid and took away from it. Yeah. Hamnet, I had a hard time deciding where to put this, but because I'm interested in it, whatever. It didn't start right, and I was thinking, it felt like it started in the middle. It's a really weak beginning. I don't know how many people would even get past the beginning because of that. And it doesn't have to be. It could have very easily been a strong beginning. This is a story about Shakespeare, if you haven't figured that out, by Hamnet. Anyway, story about Shakespeare. and he's working sewing gloves for, maybe costumes in general, but gloves anyway, for a theater company. And he notices this beautiful woman, and you would know who she is right away. And she has a pet hawk. And so she has a glove, right, that she has the hawk on. So he's noticed this woman, and they have interactions before, but they shouldn't have. I mean, not much is known about their story anyway, so much of this may have been fiction. Probably was. For the movie, because not much is known, right? So anyway, they interact together, and you can tell, well, they're interested in each other, and then whatever, things are going to happen very quickly. But then he makes her a glove, and that could have been very romantic, right? He made her a glove. He says, I made this glove for, for you. And she's like, well, I already have a hot glove, and so he just throws it. Yeah. But really,
seems weird. Just hold on to it until that one wears out. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but it could have been, they could have started it out, him just seeing her with the hawk, and scenes of her with the hawk, beautiful flight, and then him stitching away, and you don't know why. It's working back and forth. The images, he daydreams, and the scenes of a hawk again and her, and then he brings the glove to her, and then you realize, oh, he's been making this and this glove for her, and how romantic, or whatever. But I don't know. It seems like director Chloe Zhao didn't really know what she was doing.
Well, Anne Hathaway is portrayed as being into witchcraft and stuff like that. Witchcraft is not liberating for women. Let's just get over that.
Yeah, and I mean, James and I were talking about, while we're watching this, we're talking about Shakespeare, because honestly, there wasn't a whole lot going on with it. It didn't hold our attention well enough, and so we're talking about Shakespeare and stuff. And James is saying not much is known about Shakespeare. His life, outside of the plays, and
one poem by Ben Jonson dedicated to Shakespeare. So Ben Jonson said about Shakespeare, he knew
some of the plant
Latin,
in my drink now,
even less Greek. So I don't think Shakespeare really studied those. In the movie, it shows him having one of his kids learning Greek or something like that. Oh, okay. Anyway, we were talking about his will, Shakespeare's will.
Yeah.
And I don't think all of it survived, but apparently he, and this is a cause for comment, he gave his wife who survived him, left his wife who survived him, his second best bed. And that's supposed to indicate.
And so James is like, well, what would that mean, his second best? And I was like, well, maybe she didn't want the first best bed.
Yeah, of course.
And so we're thinking, well, why wouldn't she want it?
Well.
And James is like, well.
When I was asking you, or whatever, I already had in mind what the solution is, but go ahead.
So then James said maybe one of the kids got the beds or something like that.
The best bed.
Yeah, the best bed. Mm-hmm. And then I was saying, well, something like, well, maybe the first best bed would be too big for her, or something like that. And yeah, that makes the most sense. I mean, she doesn't have a husband anymore, and it's even in the will, it might be a message, I don't want you to remarry, right?
Yeah.
Or even if she didn't choose the second best bed, it might be a message, I don't want you to remarry. But if she did choose it, and she probably would have said, oh, well, I don't need a big bed. It's better if you leave the bed the big bed to whatever child.
One of our
because
kids
they have,
married.
Yeah.
So I think he was reasonably well off. Believe it or not, like an hour ago, it was breezy.
That one moved the whole lilac top over like several feet.
I had visions of it getting ripped up by the roots. We've had an amazing amount of wind the last year. You can tell. We were up in Wuthering yesterday, and we were on one trail, and it's supposed to be tourist friendly. There were trees all over, falling down. One ripped up by the roots and just deposited on the path. But
Wow.
I am going to say this about Waterton staff. You management idiots
I don't know
better
what they're
roll
doing.
up your sleeves
Get out the chainsaw.
and get out there and start sweating.
Sheesh.
Presumably you have some sort of qualifications for the job you're doing, and you start
There must have
sawing
been
down
20
those
trees, like some of them really big, laying across the trail. They got rid of the biggest one that was laying, like, pointing most of it all down the trail. They got rid of that part, except for the you had to go around it still, the big trunk and root and stuff that
It's
was.
ridiculous.
But
So it's not a provincial park, so it's not a provincial scandal, but it's a national park. It's a national scandal, and it's part of the
it's an international
people.
peace park.
It's an international scandal.
And so
Waterton
then
Park.
we were
Get on
thinking,
the
well,
stick.
maybe they're not interested in international peace between
Yeah.
the United States anymore. I don't know, because it's there were quite a few people on the trail, and yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, there
More
were-
of the lilac in my plant.
There was
in my drink.
one guy from France there. What does he think? You know?
Yeah, then
So
boy, oh boy, I take a piece out and another one's
and
in
two
there.
come in there, but it's like fighting Gorgon or whatever.
So
But
then we were talking. Oh, sorry.
yeah, get on the stick, or rather the sticks. There are a lot of them out there, because that's just 2 pathways. We used 3 so far,
I held
and
it
only one
sideways.
have I
That
seen
helped.
them do anything like adequate work. And
So-
weirdly enough, it's one that the tourists have never hit. Anyway, go on.
And before that, James was talking about, well, they lived in different places, you know, like he was working out of London, and I said, well, maybe she didn't want to be in London. It's
No.
dirty,
Who would?
it's stinky, it's
Your life expectancy is
And whatever.
documented.
Maybe he didn't. Wow. Because of that, he didn't want her at risk or whatever. And then we were talking about it some more, and we thought maybe he actually did live with her almost all the time.
They had lots of kids.
They had children, so they were obviously together at the right time for that. And plus, I mean, we were talking about writers, and why would it be any different then as it was now? Would writers be directing the plays? Would writers be, you know, they don't do it for here. If I look on here, whoever's written it, different than the director probably. Written by Maggie O'Farrell, directed by Chloe Zhao. There you go. So, there you go. That's our 2 bits on that.
Well, it's more than 2 bits, because the critics are, you know, like they've got this idea that Shakespeare was not even a closeted, what's the term, gay guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, just put up with a wife and so on and so forth. Had this horrible
With a lot of
relationship with the
kids
dark
or
lady.
whatever.
A few sonnets were addressed to her. Maybe that was Anne Hathaway. Come on now. Yeah. He might have been bi, I don't know, but whatever the buzzword is now. But yeah, the thing about the second best bed. Yeah, it made sense. He left the best bed to one of his kids.
Who knows? Merrily we roll along. So this is a play, and I mean it has Daniel Radcliffe in it, so great. Lindsay Mendez. Anyway, I'm really not into plays that much. It is a musical. There's some good lines. So I think that James will enjoy this more than I will, or, you know, have.
Maybe.
So he will we'll probably end up watching it together because I'm probably gonna go right back to sleep after this.
If you can. I mean, rush, roar, rip, trees falling down.
Who
I'm
knows,
worried about
maybe
that big spruce tree.
Boy, anything today. So, Jump Darling. This is actually a pretty good drag queen show. Having said that, it's not great, and I don't like the characters terribly much. I did love the drag queen with the full beard. That was great.
Full.
Yeah. So, Heart of a Dog. James liked the dog playing keyboard so much that he watched the extras with the dog playing keyboard.
I watched that at least twice. So when she said over and over, it was at least twice.
So there you go.
But I'm telling you, the dog is more entertaining than Laurie Anderson, by far.
Yeah.
The dog had developed some moves, so here it is at the keyboard. Now, they don't, when it's in the regular show, they don't show the dog getting fed. The dog's got eyes. You say, why is it's staring at the audience so much? Well, it's actually looking at food, right? That's being held on the other side of the keyboard.
Which is smart. So
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, dogs are amazingly trainable. Just so long as it's
I should have
about
got some
food.
better treats, because the treats that we have right now, I don't know if you could teach the dogs to play the keyboard. But honestly, I think Elvis could learn anything. He's so smart.
Oh, yeah,
he can't
we were
learn
watching.
to stop barking at people, though, on the trail. And
No.
So I can't take him hiking on trails with people. So it's coming to an end of Elvis's hiking season in Waterton, I'm afraid.
Because
very few. We'll
it's
be able to take
opening
him
day
maybe
coming up.
On Horseshoe and Wishbone,
Where there are
and
not a lot
maybe
of people.
Sofa.
Yeah.
That'd be about it.
Anyway, this dog had two moves, and it might have learned it on its own. One was, so it's basically, it must be very much right pawed. So it was going like this, but every so occasionally it would get the left one up. Sometimes it would be just sometimes both, but it was really quick, And I'm going, wow, that's incredible. But the even better move, I think it realized you can play both the white and the black keys. So it'd go, like or the white and then the black keys, and I'm going, that's one smart dog. But I wish I could say that about Lou Reed and Laurie Anderson, but they just weren't that bright. And the big trouble is, I said to Pauline, she's an artist by training. That's what she admitted. And I consider that a confession or admission. Oh, God. Probably university. Lou Reed went to, Syracuse University. And he never recovered from that. Delmore Schwartz, what a guy, was one of his instructors there. I think he drank himself to death, poor Delmore did, but maybe committed suicide. But drinking oneself to death is a form of suicide, I suppose. Anyway, you're going to talk about Father
I should have said that this is a cinematic tone poem that flows from a sustained meditation on death and other forms of absence.
Wow. A tone
blah, blah,
poem.
blah. And, well, it doesn't seem like...
there's a portion of a very enthusiastic review by a guy called Robert Christgau. It doesn't mean anything to Pauline, and probably it should be that way. Christgau is one of the first rock and roll reviewers, even before Rolling Stone, if I am not mistaken. So here's a measure of his taste. To say, this is something like almost exact quote. To say you do not like the Rolling Stones is merely to admit that you don't like rock and roll. Well, the Rolling Stones weren't it, Robert Christgau, if you're still alive. It was the Beatles, okay? They blew the Rolling Stones out of the water all the way through, and they still do. And Robert Christgau was so nut-barish that for a while there he wouldn't review positively anything that wasn't done by black artists or African artists or whatever. I think he had a huge fascination for stuff from Africa. Maybe Mali. We kind of like Amadou and Mariam, but if you want to listen to some sharp lyrics, turn off your mind on that sort of stuff. Amadou and Mariam, the stuff is pretty dull in at least two senses of the word when we're talking about lyrics. Okay, Father Brown.
Season 13.
G.K. Chesterton. How did they get to season 13? You English folks, what's wrong with you? This stuff is so bad. I can't even get a campy enjoyment out of it. You know, like I get out of watching Spenser. Mm-hmm. I kind of enjoy Spenser. It's campy. And unintentionally so. But this thing, Father Brown, he's so pablum. It's not like vanilla, it's like pablum. It's just not there, you know. How could he ever figure a mystery out?
Yeah,
you know,
James was saying, like with Columbo, you think he's not that bright. And then you realize, oh, wow, he's actually figuring things out. And you don't get that with Father Brown.
No.
You just think he's not that bright.
He's not that bright.
And it
you
stays
watch
there.
it, the criminals are going,
You're
oh,
like, wow,
man,
criminals must be really stupid because he figured it
really
out.
stupid. And the guy lucked out anyway. Father Brown. Awful. I hate to think what the novels are like. Because at least, you know, like Hercule Poirot, he's all stuck on himself and all that sort of stuff, but you get kind of the sense of a personality there, and maybe something like a guiding intelligence. But Father Brown, he's just like a cipher. No, like I'm zero. Oh, God, it's awful. Wow.
Well, one thing I have to say for this is I really like the last episode.
Because it's the last one forever?
No, they finally got rid of her.
Oh, I can't stand her.
Yeah.
Oh, Patooey.
So bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you which one they got rid of. That's a surprise. So
there
you
we
might
go.
Want to watch
No
it
spoiler alert on this
see
one.
Who they can. Because I really hope they don't bring her back. Because she had to go. She never should have been there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be set in the 50s, and there's lots of people of, well, we're not going to mention. But at any rate, because Pauline wants to keep it a mystery for you guys. See if you can solve it faster than Father Brown. Yeah, okay. And
Good. Bruce, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's a bad one. She got bruised underneath it. That's from climbing over trees. I had to crawl under some trees. Several, I think it was about 3 in a row. I had to crawl under them, and extra crawling because I didn't want to stand up too quickly and rip my shirt and really screw up my back.
Goat, I can't imagine who this is for.
Greatest of all time. And it's a basketball
goat.
Basketball playing goat.
They call it roar ball.
Roller ball.
Nope.
Roar ball?
Yep. I thought it was Disney, but it's not.
We can't blame
so
Disney
glad
on this.
Because the animation's good, but it's
who watches these things? Like you mentioned about technology, it's going to look like crot, French crot or crud the next year. So you can't depend on technology, or at least we can't. We don't. Right?
Yeah. So this goat, he's a goat who's behind on his rent by several months, and he's I'm working on it, and he's playing basketball.